Yeah, I know, I'm a week late, but come on, it's Iron Man. I'm gonna talk about it.
Hello and welcome to my review of Marvel's Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3, also known as one of the happiest days of my geeky little life, centers on Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. once again, who's having a little trouble adjusting to the events post the Avengers. He's having trouble sleeping, he's having trouble making love to his woman, Pepper Potts, played by Gwyneth Paltrow. He's just having trouble walking around in the morning and builds an excessive amount of suits. He's faced with a threat of the Mandarin, played by Ben Kingsley, who's a terrorist who started to attack all these different locations with these various explosions, so Tony Stark has to come in and save the day once again, despite a catastrophic event that strips him of all of his abilities, and he has to rely on his intellect to get out of it. This is undoubtedly one of my most anticipated movies of the year. I loved The Avengers, I loved Iron Man, I didn't like Iron Man 2, who did? But this movie was really high for me because I was really looking forward to see what director Shane Black would do with this property. If you know who Shane Black is, he wrote Lethal Weapon and has also directed Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. And I have to say, Shane Black really delivered a unique and really fun superhero movie here that I enjoyed a whole hell of a lot. Do I even need to talk about how good Robert Downey Jr. is as Tony Stark? I mean, come on, everybody knows it. He is pitch perfect, and in this film, this is probably his best performance as Tony Stark. Because in this film, we really get to see Tony Stark be Tony Stark. Because he's stripped of a lot of his abilities. He has to rely on himself, and you really get to see Robert Downey Jr. build this character in a really wonderful way, and you get to see his relationships with new people, and it's really fun to watch Downey Jr. play with this stuff. Also, you've got a great supporting cast. Gwyneth Paltrow is a great Pepper Potts again. Ben Kingsley is intimidating as the Mandarin, and there is a twist involving this character, but I enjoyed it very much. Guy Pearce is Guy Pearce, meaning he's freaking awesome, and Don Cheadle finally convinces me that he's a worthy replacement for Terrence Howard, really becoming a true badass here as War Machine / Iron Patriot / James Rhodes. I love how this film really is what they promised, which is a Tom Clancy-style thriller in the Iron Man universe, which means Shane Black really just has a great grip on keeping this movie very grounded and yet very extravagant at the same time. The writing is fast, sharp, and witty, but never feels silly on any stance. Occasionally the comedy gets a little goofy, but it's not really a big deal. And also the action scenes of this movie are so much fun. Just really well shot, really inventive action sequences in this that push the boundaries of Tony Stark as just a character, as what Iron Man can do. You've got scenes where he's saving tons of people from airplanes falling. You've got scenes where he's fighting with only a few bits of his suit. You've got scenes where 10,000 Iron Man suits come in and start blowing up everything. You've got all sorts of action scenes in this movie. They all feel unique, they all feel fun, and they all hit it out of the park. Now, I'm going to spoil something really quick because I feel like it's really key to whether or not you like this movie. And so if you don't want to see a spoiler right now, big one, take a hike. But if you do, stick around. So the Mandarin, played by Ben Kingsley, turns out to be an actor. He turns out to be like kind of a lackey to Guy Pearce's Aldrich Killen. And that is really pissing a lot of people off. You should see the IMDb message boards for this film. I swear to God, World War III just happened there. Like, it's really awful. But I have to say, I actually really liked this twist because what it does is it kind of is a metaphor for the whole movie. You've got all these characters, and throughout the whole film, they're struggling with very different things, but they're all struggling with some sense of identity in some form. And Ben Kingsley's character really encapsulates that to a T. He's the 10, he's the 11 of that struggle. And to see this really intimidating terrorist reduced to a fool in the end, I thought was so much fun to watch, and Kingsley really plays it up, and there's some great social commentary there. This movie really does try to get into what our society does to kind of front against a threat, like a chameleon trying to blend in, and I really loved the overarching theme that twist led to, even if it does kind of ruin something from the comics. Overall, is Iron Man 3 Shakespeare? No. Is it The Dark Knight? No. What it is just a hell of a lot of fun. And despite the flaws, I have to say they're not even worth mentioning in this review because the whole film just works. It's just so much fun to watch this universe, this Marvel universe, evolve and take risks and do things that are really different while yet keeping a consistent tone throughout the entire franchise. I love this movie, and I will defend it against any of you who hate it merely because of that twist. I give it 3.5 stars out of 4. Iron Man is back, and I love every second of it. And that's my review of Iron Man 3. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I'm Michael Fairbanks. See you later.
Here's my boys.